Hey everybody, good day, the 21st of June, 2024. I am Connor with Honor with SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com. This is going to be your 7-day update. It's going to give you all the information with regard to Santa Clarita Valley, at least the numbers, and we'll get into more information shortly regarding some open houses. Also, what properties are moving the fastest, and then in addition, what areas are open houses more frequented, and also what's that sweet spot in Santa Clarita Valley as far as real estate pricing goes. Market watch, 7 days. Coming soon listings, 12 new listings have been posted, 68 of them in the last 7 days. All around Santa Clarita Valley, going to include single family residences, condominiums, also townhomes. We do have 52 properties that have had their prices changed. Majority of these are reductions, folks, so watch out for that. That is something that sellers need to regroup and talk to their agent about, because not only is a price reduction fantastic for a property that isn't moving, in addition, that price reduction needs to be multifaceted. So not only should they just be inputting a price reduction, when they do that, I suggest to the agents that I talk to redo the entire narrative online to give it a completely fresh approach. So not just going in there and taking the lazy way and just doing a price change, but modifying, moving things around, maybe labeling the pictures in the MLS if that hasn't been done, because all of these little things do bring more attention to the property that happens to be listed for sale and held at open houses and those sorts of things. All right, so we have back on market properties 22. These are 22 properties that fell out of escrow, entering back on the market, active under contract 31, 48 went pending. 103 properties, folks, closed escrow this last week. That's how many properties sold, and those are all new owners out there. That is a large number. Mostly we're seeing 60 to 70 listings. Last 7 days, 103 total sales. Fantastic. 7 expired, 8 canceled, 9 put on hold. 3 have been withdrawn from the market. Now, as far as what's happening, we do have 68 new opportunities in those new listings that have hit the market. If you're not seeing what those properties are, make sure you go to SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com. Again, the system's unlocked. It'll show you the current MLS listings, and it'll actually be everything that's currently available for sale at that particular location for all of Southern California, including where I'm at here in Santa Clarita Valley. All right, so a couple of things with regard to open houses. It's important to have a list of questions. The top few questions in Santa Clarita that I give my buyers to ask if they happen to be venturing out without me at open houses is to talk about the Melloroos, talk to the agent about what the seller's plans are, where are they going, and by finding out what they'll tell you, if they even know anything at all, if they even happen to be the agent that's listed the house that understands and knows the sellers, because it could just be an agent that's a place filler at the residence in order to try to get leads and also host the house open. Besides, the listing agent happens all the time. I get called incessantly by agents with regard to my listings. They would like to host them open, and I understand that. Again, that has its place. That's definitely a conversation to have with your agent if they're talking about having other people come and fulfill the obligation of conducting an open house at your residence. So anyway, there's that. So look for that. Also, look at the layout. You'll want to look at the way the house is configured. Is it going to work for you and the people that you're going to have with you? Or is it going to work for you if you're alone? The other thing is the red flags. You want to look at the way the grading is at the property. I know this is big stuff, and I talk to my buyers about it when we're standing in front of the property. Just looking at the grade is important. What if it rains? Where does the water go? And then you have to balance that. How long has the house been there? What have they done in the past? Has there been a lot of rain in the past? Well, of course there has. If the house has been there for 40 years, there's been no insurance claims and no residual damage, even if the land appears that it's providing water flow towards the property, there must be some other explanation. So balance these things carefully, but at least when you're looking at the different facets that you're looking at a property, try to extract information and observations as if you are being the most critical person on the planet. You're about to spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to buy a residence. You should be a little critical. Now, it's going to depend on the market, how much you can call out and ask the seller to take care of if, in fact, there are some issues that you discover with the residence. Barring that, though, understanding how much you're going to be going in with purchasing, you should, have a good idea as to what you're getting into, and that's going to really come around full circle when you do have that quality representative on your side. Those people that are out there, those agents that are out there with your best interest at heart, looking at the different systems in the residence. And I always look at the big ones. We look at roof, we look at HVAC, we look at electrical, and we look at plumbing. And then besides that, foundational issues, where the house is located, what's the impact on the neighbors, or the neighbors' impact on the property my buyers are purchasing. Also looking at the neighborhood as well. How are the neighbors taking care of their houses, their yards? What do we hear? We hear dogs, we hear this, we hear that. These are a lot of things to do. And from a seller standpoint, when you are getting ready to put your house on the market, you're considering open houses. This is a big tip we give our open house sellers. Whenever we at Santa Clarita Open Houses go in, we want to make sure that we get rid of anything that is pharmaceutical in nature, any kind of medicines that the sellers happen to be taking. Usually people are very relaxed in their house. Now we're about to open it up and have complete strangers come in that aren't going to be vetted in any way, shape, or form. They're going to have allow free access to your residence. Now it's going to be monitored. There are going to be professionals present, real estate agents, but with one or two agents, sometimes with multiple viewers in the residence, people go on their way and there is no need to tempt. So what we always tell our sellers at SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com, make sure that you have all your prescription medication moved away. Is it that somebody's going to come in and snatch your Oxy or your Vicodin or whatever flavor you happen to try to be taking care of yourself, whatever medicines? No, probably not. But what's on the outside of the pill bottle? A lot of personal information. Me being a first responder turned realtor, I understand that's a lot of information, and we carry the ability to record such information very quickly. Just snap a picture and then they have it. What are they going to do with it? What do they want to know? There's no point into even tempting people. And besides prescription medication with the seller's responses when we talk about our open houses, the other thing too is if you have a change tray or you have a massive jar where you've been putting pennies in there since the 1960s and it's sitting out there for all to see, maybe not. Yeah, I understand it's pennies, but pennies are still worth probably more than the cent if they're true copper pennies. Anyway, you don't want that temptation to be there as well. When people come into open houses, usually they're looking for a good fit. They're probably frustrated with the resale market. They're frustrated with what their agent is doing for them potentially, and they really want to get out there and they really want to find out what's happening in person. When I have my discussions with my clients regarding visiting all the open houses, I want them to protect themselves. And something that's come up recently, apparently in open houses, people instructing buyers to sign stuff immediately before viewing the open residence. Again, if that is a law, which I've never heard of, but if it is, I probably wouldn't do it because I should be able to go look at an open house as I want to. Now, if the rules and regulations change and there's some over-governing authority that makes it a crime not doing this, or makes it where an agent's able to exclude somebody from viewing an open house because they didn't do a thing, giving up their personal information, filling out some kind of an agreement or a contract just to look at the open house, again, I'd probably have a problem with it, so watch out for that. Again, you'll also hear a lot of information about buyer-broker agreements. That's something that's becoming very prevalent in the market, and eventually purchasing real estate could require a contract between you and your agent. You as the buyer and your agent. Currently in place, we have contracts between you as a seller and the agent. Those exist. Now we have contracts between you and as a buyer and your buyer's agent. The contract's going to lay out what they do. The contract's going to lay out what houses are going to be privy to that particular agreement. Is it going to be everything you see? Is it only going to be houses in Los Angeles County if you happen to be searching in Orange County with maybe another agent more familiar with that area? But within that contract, there's going to be specific information about what this buyer contract is going to cover, which properties. You can have it specific for one, you can have it for many, you can have it with just particular properties in a particular neighborhood or in a zip code or in a city. You name it, it's there. Before you sign anything, make sure you understand it. And if somebody is telling you something verbally, here's a big one, follow up with them in an email. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Agent. Thank you so much for talking to me today. you did discuss with me a contract, some kind of a buyer agreement. I understand what you were explaining to me, and I'd like to clarify a few points and then lay it out. If they're giving you information that sounds funny, lay it out in an email, have them respond. They should be on it, because in business, in real estate, email is bread and butter. That is how we communicate with people. So they should be on the email when you send it to them. And if you don't get a quick response, maybe that's something else to consider. I'm Connor with Honor. Thank you so much for watching. This has been your real estate update, 21st of June, 2024. I'm Connor with Honor at SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com. Over and out.